Hi everyone, today we're going to be going over everyone's favorite time-stopping blonde boy. Nope, I'm talking about Axl Low. Now, Axl is a master zoner with tools for every space of the screen and is a force to be reckoned with in the right hands. While he may feel impossible to beat without knowledge of his faults, those tables are turned quickly when the opponent knows how to approach him. Regardless of whether you're playing as or against him, learning these windows will be crucial for the matchup, so there will be something for you to take away. Now, Axl is very interesting because he falls into the archetype of a glass cannon zoner. While when starting out, you'll primarily string things together with small strings and pokes, mastering his technically demanding combos will allow him to dish out boatloads of damage. There is still the glass side, however. As one of the only characters with a gut scaling of 1, he will melt at any time in the match. This means that the opponent doesn't always need to hit him and get a punish for every whiffed move. Just closing that distance bit by bit can lead to a decisive single moment in his death. So starting off with Axl's specials, Snail and Rainwater are both great tools for his arsenal. They help create space from the opponent and are easy to follow from his normals, which we'll get into in a moment. Keep in mind that these moves have very specific areas of hits, as they are arcing sweeps and not linear pokes. Close to him there are dead zones and they have quite long recovery. However, they are very strong tools. Now, Axl Bomber is a big damage move. This is inputted by doing forward, down, and then the diagonal between in the air. It is only possible in the air and has 0 invincibility, so it's not a DP. However, it does come with a trade-off of then having high damage and putting the opponent in hard knockdown, allowing him to get great setup play and is easily OTGable if you so desire. We'll see this move again in the combo section. Oh, it should be noted you'll also see this move if you get a close range command grab, allowing for some nice meterless conversions. However, Axl's command grab is very punishable at this point, so it's pretty rare. But speaking of, his command grab is just so cool. At far range, it is surprisingly fast, and its long animation and sliding can allow you to even travel through opponents' projectiles, including super moves. However, be warned that, like I said, it has immense recovery. The counter hit window is huge, and opponents can beat it just by backdashing it, or of course jumping over, so it is very dangerous. While it's possible to throw it out in neutral on a read, I would recommend doing it when you have at least 1 bar of meter, as it will let you PRC to remain safe on whiff, or get some awesome conversions on hit, which we'll go into when we focus on his time slow mechanic, which we know you came here for. Without spending resources, however, it is still possible to OTG someone off the ground, allowing you to get in their face or make space as you see fit. Now, his last special is Rensengeki, which we're going to fully cover, but it's better that you have an idea of his normals first before we get into those specific functions. Axl's normals are a bit unique given his range properties. Note that every one of his sickle attacks do extra damage, including those special ones when they're at max range, where the blade is glowing green. I find it best to view his punches and kicks as 2 sides of a coin. His punches are all, except for 1, long range pokes, traveling pretty much in horizontal lines. They also are all confirmable into Snail, which gives you distance if you recognize the hit confirm, as well as being pretty good block strings to make more space yourself. His forward punch of these buttons, however, is a close range, being his 6P and anti-air. Now, the flip side, kicks, which are all his fastest short range buttons. In the air, kick is definitely his fastest button and is confirmable into his aerial dust, which pushes the opponent back. This can then combo into his aerial snail, but again, keep in mind that it is possible to get a little too antsy and miss it. On the ground, you can combo either of his kicks into crouching dust and then into snail or rainwater, depending if you want to combo or create some space. His forward kick, however, is effectively his 6P of the range, covering a great angle and comboing into his standing punch on counter hit. Now, his slashes, they cover good specific spaces. Crouching slash covering very high above him and giving a good counter hit, and jumping slash comboing far in front, though keep in mind it does extend his hurt box, so it can be subject to some wonky hits. Close and far slash are really good combo filler and can be delayed along with heavy slash for strong frame traps. Now, heavy slash fills a strong role for damage, along with crouching HS being a strong low and his jumping HS being usable for hitting overhead from above. Note that this move is cancelable from slash in the air, which while it may not seem usable in like many cases because of the drastically different ranges that they cover, in the Potemkin matchup, this is pretty huge, as when he charges in with his armor, the slash will eat up that part and then the heavy slash will hit him and then you can go into a combo. Now, his forward heavy slash is a lunging move that causes the opponents to bounce when they're in the air, and is overhead, which is always nice. This move will allow you to come in when you get a counter hit and leads into strong punishes. But we're not going to move on to those strong punishes until first we cover Rensengeki. Okay, so now this this is the key piece for Axl. This is like the move. Rensen is a charge move, requiring you to hold back for a beat before you press forward with slash. Now this move, as a projectile, hits 3 times, so it'll eat through armor and most projectiles. It always combos from your counter hit crouching heavy slash and an air hit 6k, but you gotta be careful because doing the forward motion of the kick into it is pretty hard. Also, pretty reliably an air hit punch will combo into it. So Rensen has 5 options, and yes, 5, trust me on this. First and second is Winter Cherry, which is detonating. Now this detonation, when you press the button right away, results in a true block string or a combo on hit. This can be delayed, however, so that's the second option, increasing the damage, the knockback, as well as making him yell his trademark, yes! Use the first one to combo and the second to threaten opponents trying to dash in or jump out. The third option you'll get by pressing up, which does this sweeping arc which pulls the opponents in. This knockdown can be OTG'd with close slash, allowing you to safe jump in or make some other pressure happen. It also can be RC'd if you do a close range combo, until you're ready to move on to the more technical ones. Speaking of Roman canceling, after doing one, you will not have to wait the time to do a charge with Rensen. This means that the moment that you Roman cancel, you can, if you want to get one out, just do the forward and back. You don't have to wait the allotted time. Fourth, you get by pressing down. Now this does a spinning vacuum that pulls the opponents in and hits low. It goes on for longer the longer you hold down the direction, but keep in mind it is very punishable by opponents jumping overhead, so use with caution. And now, finally, the fifth option is choosing not to do anything, which you must consider as a fifth option. Winter Cherry only explodes at max range. The up one is a very specific arc. Down is only close to him, so if the opponent's in the middle of all these hit zones, doing any of those options can result in a punish which is incredibly detrimental with how squishy he is. While Sickle is minus on block, keep in mind that the time that can pass while the opponent is waiting to see which of those 4 previous follow-ups you do can account for that time, during which you can charge a new Sickle flash. Make sense? Because now we can go into that anime stuff. Okay, this move is sick. I mean, it's probably why you want to play him. Let's be real. Quick rundown. Time Slow is an install, and it's preppable only from the ground. For 1 bar of meter, you gain a purple aura lasting for 5 seconds. Doing the input again will cause you to freeze time on the opponent for 2 seconds, as long as they are not blocking. During this time, or lack thereof, they are truly frozen. They will not move in recoil of your hits until time is up, and their burst will not come out. However, it will buffer, so that's a warning for anyone fighting him. You gotta wait until it's all up, or you're just gonna waste that burst. Now, this reactivation is possible in neutral, but also out of all of your hits from normals to special moves. There are many cases to be explored here, so you can have a lot of fun with it, but I'm going to point out 2 key instances to learn, being his command grab and the explosion of Winter Cherry, because in both cases, with fast enough reactions and practice, it is possible to charge and execute the time slow in one solid combo. For Winter Cherry, the moment the opponent is hit by the explosion, prep the time slow, then execute it before they land. You will have time to run full screen and follow up. However, note that if they fall into tumble, you will not slow them down and you will instead waste all your resources. For his command grab, the moment you clothesline them, input the time slow and input it in the direction that you will be facing after, not the direction you're facing them before you clothesline them. You can then hit them with a standing kick to follow up and activate the time slow from there. Or once you practice, you can instead do his bomber confirms. It's really important that you learn the input referred to as TK or Tiger Knee, which originated from early days of Street Fighter. This is the process of jumping and inputting the move the moment you leave the ground. And this is required to combo his Axl bomber from your standing moves, being his standing kick or standing slash, as both are jump cancelable. After landing from the bomber, do them again and again. Seriously, I recommend solely focus on the complex motion with your left hand. Doing this TK bomber makes for an incredibly strong follow-up off of any time the opponent is close. And of course is still able to get his JoJo move after. So super sick. All right, now let's put this into a plan in motion. So with all these tools, Axl is the piece of paper who will never let the scissors near him. You need to know exactly how to cover your spaces, as his standing punch can be low profiled by dashes, and his crouching punch can be hit by jump ins. But you have all these other pokes and sweeps to cover those ranges and punish someone who keeps throwing rock and rock and rock trying to get it. You can always opt for retreating rainwater and strings, as it's +3 on block and is hard to punish when linked into. An opponent that gets close can easily be distanced with a quick kick to a sweep to snail, or if you want to keep them close, you always have the option of frame trapping them with slash strings or going for more crouching strings. You can use your chain pull to reliably set up a safe jump, as does following his grab, so you can bait a response and keep the pressure going. While his overheads aren't numerous, his dust is a nice way to get some damage with a simple route to follow of repeating jump dust, jump punch, jump dust, jump punch, jump dust, jump punch, jump punch. And when you have meter, while tempting as it is to go for his time slow, a red Roman cancel allows you to now pick up a combo from a block close slash into into an instant overhead jump heavy slash, provided they expected a low from conditioning. And if need be, you always have access to his invincible super reversal in those sticky scenarios. In summary, while he may be fragile, Axl has a tool for every time and space an opponent wants to occupy. Use his far-reaching normals and sweeping specials to puppeteer the enemy's movements. Keep them at bay with Rensen and punish them lagging behind with a cheeky command grab to turn the tables in an instant. Frame traps, space traps, time stop, I mean, just freaking swag on some people, like, goddamn, dude. And really, once you're warmed up to him, you can get ready to truly light them up in a high damage blaze. Just make sure you don't get burned up faster. All right, that's all for this character overview. I hope it was helpful to you in your fight as or against Axl. I really like making these kind of overviews, so please let me know down below who you'd like to see next, whether it's your main or a character you really want to know how to crack open. I also do stream here now, so I mean, hey, feel free to come through. I'll probably be playing that character in preparation. And if you are looking to prepare to play as or against Kai Kisk, who we were beating up today, look no further than right here.